Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, MV Chu, Joe Morgan. Hope you guys are well. The big news of the day, guys. Carl Frampton Scott Quigg been announced in my backyard, Manchester, for February the 27th. Chu, did you think this fight was going to be made? What do you think? Are you looking forward to it? I'm pretty hyped, man. It's finally good to see a big fight being made, especially in the UK. We've not had one since last year, Frutch and Groves too. But what's your thoughts on Frampton and Quigg?
Who's going? We're all going. Everybody in the Mixlr chat, they're going. I'm going. I'm going to go.
Now we have to get the coalition t-shirts made just for everyone that's coming.
Just a big coalition rendezvous. Let's do it.
Yeah, man.
I've been waiting for a big fight long time. Now I've got a good reason. I'm looking forward to it. There's heightened anticipation. Scott Quigg, Carl Frampton. Like my boy Kev Horn was saying, about 8 months ago it was you would favour Carl Frampton, but now it's 50-50, I think. And that just makes it for an even bigger occasion, and I can't wait.
Definitely. Joe, how's it going?
Hello, boys.
Alright, Joe. Joe, I know you do a mean Carl Frampton impression, but I won't put you on the spot. Maybe you can slide it in later, but what's your thoughts on the fight being made? Are you happy? Who are you favouring at the moment?
It's confirmed Manchester, isn't it?
Yep.
What a lovely early Christmas present from Mr. Hearn to us boxing fans. I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait. I'm going. Even if I can't get a ticket, I want to get to Manchester. Fucking sample that atmosphere. I think, yeah, agree with you. If it had been made 18 months ago, I'd have thought Frampton, easy UD, might have even knocked him out. But the way Quigg just dealt with Martinez, and I don't care what anyone says, Martinez was still a very good fighter, and Quigg just fucking blew him apart. So I don't know, man. It could go either way. Quigg could just chin him, but then Frampton could just put on an absolute boxing clinic. I don't know. It's a lot closer than it was, and that's for the benefit of the fight. But I can't wait. I just pray to God that there isn't any sort of pull-out or injury, because I can't be dealing with that shit again in 2016.
No, that's don't even mention it, man. That's the last thing we need now. Like, we're getting hyped over a good fight. We don't want no pullouts.
And it's decent as well, because it's not like you hear about some of these fights get made now and they don't get made until like March or May. I mean, that's February, man. I mean, that's like quite a depressing month, isn't it?
It is, but it's still kind of far though. Like, it's just the start of November now. We got all of November, all of December, all of January, and the fight's towards the end of February, man. So it's still a long way to wait, but at least we've got something penciled in the diary that we're looking forward to.
Yes, a hell of a way to start 2016. Fuck, I can't wait for it. The atmosphere is just going to be fucking nuts. All those Irish coming over, 10,000 in there, 10,000. You're going to need about 3,000 security in the middle just to separate them.
I think those tickets are going to fly out the door,
Yeah, I think one of us needs to get Fight Pass.
Yeah. I'm signing up for Fight Pass tomorrow.
Yeah.
They should just hire Billy Joe Saunders fans, because they're solid, man. No one wants to mess with them. They can be the security.
keep the expenses on a low. Keep it cheap.
Hey, do you hear they're doing like a little mini press tour like they do in America for the fights?
Yeah, I read that. I thought that's a bit over the top, man. Like, the UK's not a massive place where you have to travel all over the place to do.
Where are they going to go? Like fucking Belfast, Manchester, and then stick one in like Coventry or some shit.
Oh yeah, just have one in London somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'd just mix it up, put one up in Glasgow, fuck it, or something.
I know Chu.
Why not?
I know Chu saw this little Sky Sports News interview. Have you seen it as well, Joe?
I did. I saw like a clip of them doing the now traditional contract signings.
Oh, that's so fucking corny, isn't it?
I was just surprised Quigg could hold a pen. I thought they'd pass him a little crayon or something like that. And he'd do like a little smiley face or something.
Shit.
I tell you what, the more I see fucking Scott Quigg, the more I think you are Adam Booth's love child. He looks like the Scottish footballer Scott Brown. But Barry McGuigan was fucking angry. I don't know what it is. He's just
he's taking that massive ego schlong of Hearn and gobbling it down, mate. He's got to swallow that pride.
he was just sitting there, just raging, just really fucking angry with the situation. Like, how did it come to this?
Yeah, it's out of his hands though, isn't it? It's Heyman and Hearn now. He's just a name, good name, but yeah, a name.
Yeah, it must be strange for Barney McGuigan to go back to Sky. I mean, I've always considered like Barney McGuigan to be the godfather of fucking Sky punditry.
Oh, he is a quality pundit. Let's get that straight. I mean,
Yeah, he is, yeah.
the Don. But,
He's really like the best British pundit ever.
yeah, I'd go along with that. The way he broke down some of the Frotch fights and some of those big Khan fights, I've proper enjoyed it. I mean, he's got a good voice for punditry and he knows his shit. But he has admitted in the past that he's lived his life vicariously through Frampton, and it probably hurts to see someone else guiding his career now, because it's always been him and his son. And while his son's probably still on the mitts, you know, Uncle Al's got 100% control now. McGuigan's there just because of the loyalty that he's shown Frampton, and Frampton probably doesn't want to pie him off. So,
All right, so I've not read anything about this so far, so I want to throw it to the table. Is this going to be pay-per-view? I presume so.
yeah, well, I don't think anyone can argue that it won't be, will it? I mean, even the most staunched, pissed off, negative boxing podcast critic will probably agree that this is a pay-per-view fight.
So having said that, does that mean the undercard is going to be whacked because everyone's just waiting for that main fight?
No, these are Hearn undercards. They're usually pretty good.
I don't know. I think Hearn's going to know that, you know. It's all about the main fight, so I can't see him putting on a decent undercard.
I don't know. In fairness, he doesn't always. I mean, he doesn't do what like Bob Arum does and just absolutely stink the joint out on an undercard. But he doesn't create killer undercards, but they're pretty good usually. I don't know. I can see maybe February. Crawler might be on it. AJ after the Dillian fight. What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It'd be nice if it is a decent undercard because it just make the whole fucking event even better.
It's going to be weird how. I'm interested to see how much it takes in a casual, because you know this is super fucking bantamweight. This is as low as it's got for a pay-per-view fight in this country. I don't know about you, but I can't remember any bantamweight pay-per-view fights. Like this is as low as it gets for most casuals.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be interesting to see how big. If I imagine it probably might do similar numbers to Bellew Cleverly.
I don't know. Like Bellew had all the casuals involved in it.
I will do more than that, surely.
I don't know. Even though we all hate Bellew, he does attract a crowd, and he does get fucking people paying for that shit. Even though I think the hardcores are loving this fight. How many casuals really know about Quigg and Frampton? Obviously, I know Frampton got major airtime when he was, on the ITV fights, like 2 million views and shit. But how many of them are actually gonna put money in their pocket and pay for a pay-per-view?
Well, I think that once the hype train kicks into gear after Christmas and you get all the promos and the war of the words and, well, the war of the word in Quigg's case, but no, I mean it's gonna be massive by the time it comes around, you know.
I hope you never go to Bury, Joe. Cause
I hope I do. I hope I never go.
the Quigg fans, or maybe the one Quigg fan, might murder you.
Oh, I'm gonna go there.
Buddied.
I'm going there as Team Quigg, mate. Fuck it.
Oh, the Irish are gonna beat you up then.
Fuck it. I'm gonna bring my Lego. Team Quigg. We're gonna be munching on that Lego, motherfuckers.
Just to talk about the styles of each fighter, I think.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Scott Quigg is. This is why I think Carl Frampton would win. Scott Quigg, strong as he is, big as he is, Carl Frampton is a guy who punches straight down the middle, straight shots, in and out. The only way I can see Carl Frampton losing is if he stands right in front of Quigg and trades with him, because although I do think Quigg has the power to knock him out, I think Carl Frampton's just going to go out there and just fucking school him.
I think if Frampton is as good as everyone thinks he is, I think I reckon it could be a knockout. It could be one of those masterful performances, Mayweather Hatton-esque, where he just dances circles around him and just knocks him the fuck out late, sort of towards the end, because Quigg just loses heart and he just gets tired, and it's a lovely straight shot, a lovely straight counter or something like that. But, you know, if he isn't as good as what we think he is, this is fucking competitive.
I know I'm the guy that always mentions ring size, but I think that's going to make a big difference in this fight. If Frampton wants to fight on the back foot, he's going to need that room to do it. Otherwise, if it's a tiny ring and his back's constantly against the ropes, that's where the advantage is going to go to Mr. Quigg.
I think Quigg's just got to bum rush him. He's just got to get on top, sit on his chest and just go to war. Because Frampton could make bantamweight, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's not a huge super bantam, is he? I mean, but Quigg is a monster. Like you saw in the ring after Frampton's last fight, where they stood next to each other on an ITV interview, and Quigg just looked like a weight division above. He's huge.
Mm. Yeah, I've always said that this fight reminds me of Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto. And I could possibly see a kind of similar thing happening where Frampton's dominating early, and then just Quigg, just the pressure that he'll bring, catches him. But then again, I think Carl Frampton punches strong enough to maybe knock him out. You know, I don't think Quigg's got the chin of Margarito. I'm just saying in terms of like the size.
It's weird. We haven't actually seen Quigg's chin tested. I mean, I know he got dropped in a fight when he was coming up, but I think it was sort of one of those like a balance issue thing. I don't know if it was like a heavy knockdown or anything. And you've seen Frampton get caught by some no mark really on his American debut. So, and I don't think there's any doubt that Quigg has genuine power.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I can't even remember the guy's name that Carl Frampton was fighting, but I was quite surprised.
Gonzalez, isn't it?
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was good. The guy gave Frampton problems with his just his size, his length. I thought that Carl Frampton had a lot of trouble getting close to him to punch him, and you know, Carl Frampton's got this thing where he kind of leaps in a bit. He has to. He's tiny.
Yeah.
So when he jumps in, I think he could get caught. Possible.
Go on.
No, well, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm going with Frampton.
Your boxing analyst in the chat saying Quigg isn't a genuine banger, but I don't know how you can say that after he wiped Martinez away. Martinez is a fucking seriously good fighter, tough as they come, and Frampton and Quigg just destroyed him. I think he's got genuine power, man. I think he's probably the biggest puncher in that division. If take that Julio Cesar out, who's just come up from bantamweight, you know, I think he's an absolute beast of a puncher. Whether he has the skill to land on Frampton regularly enough, that's another question. But I think if he gets the opportunity, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Quigg's got the power to take him out.
Just reading the chat now, they're talking about where this fight will possibly be on in the States. Obviously, Frampton's with Heyman, and Eddie's done deals with Showtime in the past and HBO in the past. Like, is it likely to go to a Heyman channel, so ESPN or NBC or CBS or one of these? You guys think?
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
It's got to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to. I can see Showtime picking up. HBO's not going to pick up, I don't think.
No.
Not with the Carl Frampton Al Heyman relationship. So I can see it being on Showtime.
Yeah, it'd be like one of those it'd be an afternoon show, innit, for the Yanks.
Yeah, afternoon show.
Yeah.
I hope the undercard's strong.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, I think it's going to be weak, man. I think everyone's mainly bothered about the main event, so I can see Hearn just giving it some shit.
Yeah. The one thing is, like, Joe said he's going to go regardless of whether he's got a ticket. I'm not going to fucking do that. I never understand people who do that.
I was exaggerating slightly.
Yeah.
I won't go to Manchester just for the sake of going, but don't let that underestimate how excited I am for this fight.
If you don't get a ticket, just come see me, man. We can go for a kebab or something.
Manchester, yeah.
Money. Alright, my boy Ari goes back from his hiatus. We don't know where he's been, but Ari, you there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. How you doing, Ari?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
We're talking Frampton Quigg, man. Are you gassed about this fight?
No, he needs to eat his crow first because he didn't think Hearn would make it.
Fuck Hearn, he had nothing to do with it. This wasn't made because of Hearn.
Hearn has put an olive branch out to you, Ari. Do you want to take it?
Nah. Because there's been some bullshit on Sky that I refuse to stay in for these last few Saturdays. So if we're talking about them cards, I can't say a word. I haven't watched it, but yeah, it's good to see they made at least one big fight. You see how gassed Hearn is. I've never seen, you know what I mean, they're live with the fucking papers signing it. Hearn with the cheesy grin.
Come on, Ari. He's got a good fight.
Cringe.
Give him some credit.
He's made one of his Christmas wish list fights.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's good. All I care about is the fights, and we get a big one we got our first big one in 2016. So of course I'm happy for it. I still think my boy Frampton will do the thing. It's too much skills. I think it's fair to say Quigg only has a puncher's chance.
Oh.
I don't think anyone sees him outboxing Frampton. You know, I just see Quigg's only chances if he lands that big right hand.
I think you're right. I think the only way Quigg wins is by knockout. He's not winning on points, is he really?
I don't know. I can't really see any knockdowns in this fight, you know. I think it'll be just...
Well, then Frampton's won already then.
Yeah, I think it's going to be straight 12 rounds, UD to Frampton. Because, like, Frampton's going to be on his P's and Q's that day, you know. I can't see him getting caught with anything silly like he got caught against Gonzalez. And I think he's going to be on his A game. I think he just... the kind of whole first fight in the States kind of got to him, I think. I don't think that's going to happen against Quigg. I think his focus and determination is going to be on point.
Yeah. And what's going on with Riggin though? Is he still the WBA champ or what? Because I thought IBF weren't going to sanction this.
He's been stripped like Yusuf Mack does with his partners.
Okay. Oh shit.
But Ari, what's your thoughts about Hearn on the undercard? Do you think he'll give us a decent card or just shit?
I thought you were going to say, what's your thoughts on Yusuf Mack?
No.
Yeah,
You've had a little look, haven't you, Harry? Good boy.
No. I only seen just pictures of him holding.
Can
I just say about that? Why would anybody open up a link to A, a fucking gay porno, B, Yusuf Mack, C, in fact, there is no fucking B, C. It's fucking Yusuf Mack. He's fucking getting bummed up the arse.
Hey, getting Cobra does funny things to you, eh?
Fucking hell.
Oh man,
You should just go and shit like I'm dancing like the fucking...
he's not a celebrity.
What? He is now.
He is now, yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I agree with whoever said the undercard ain't going to be good. I don't think the undercard will be good. Whenever it's a big fight, I don't think Hearn's going to care about the undercard. And you know, it's a co-promotion, I guess. So I don't see any big fights on the undercard. There's probably one Manchester fight, or like also like a card or something like that. And then on Frampton's side, what's that guy, Conlon or something like that? One of them kind of guys will be on. I don't see a big good undercard at all.
I disagree. I
You
saw.
could disagree, but when has Hearn ever gave us a good undercard where with a great main event?
Okay, I'll give you that one. Touche. Tip my cap to you. Welcome back, Harry.
I thought the Wembley undercard was alright.
Yeah, but not with a
Which
great
one?
main event.
Fox Rose.
2.
What,
I thought it was
What was
alright,
it?
yeah.
what the girl versus Gonzalez?
Yeah, actually, it was okay.
I guess, but no one really knew who Gonzalez was at the time, really.
Mitchell Maduma was a fucking good fight as well.
Yeah, but not really on paper.
And then Jamie getting
Don't even bother with that. Don't bother with McDonald versus midget.
No, not allowed to call them midgets. Small people.
Dwarves.
Can I just tell you, Harry, that I saw Eddie Hearn's latest interview with Cougar Cassius on IFL. I thought he was going to cry.
Just today.
Cry
it
with
wasn't
happiness.
Today, it was the one before last week. It was basically discussing, Kell Brook's injury and talking about the conspiracy theories as to why, the rib injury conveniently landed Kell Brook on the fucking Anthony Joshua card. He was basically saying it was not bullshit. No, he was saying it's not official. But he was talking about the rumours that that's what was going to happen. And he looked as if he was going to cry. I genuinely think he's more frustrated than anyone about not giving anyone a good 50-50 fight. I genuinely believe that. I think a lot of the shit that Eddie Hearn gets is just it's out of order.
No, I mean, some of it's justified, of course. But then some of it's just like some people seem to think that he's the only cunt and everyone else is a fucking legend. That they're all cunts. People got to realise this. They're greedy bastards that want as much money and take as advantage of as many fighters as they can for as much money as they get. So once you accept that, he's done well for British boxing. Like, you can't deny that. I mean, it's in a better state than it was when he first came into the game, and you can't knock him for that. Could he make better fights?
He's dragging it back to the shit days, though.
No, he's not. That's
bullshit pay-per-views and shit. Sky free cards that are bullshit. The last couple, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's not his fault.
Yes, they are.
No, it's not.
He put them together.
If Brooke Chavez had headlined that one,
but why didn't it have it should have had a better undercard. If it had a decent undercard, it would have been saved.
Oh, come on.
Eubank versus some guy that no one's ever heard of who damn nearly got killed.
Yo, how many PBC, Top Rank, and Frank Warren cards would have gone on if they'd have lost their main event?
A lot of PBC cards would go. They have good co-mains most of the time.
Yeah, but come on, he's got at least 3. He's got twice as many fighters as Hearn, and I don't agree with that. He's bringing it back to the Dark Ages. I mean, he's given us. I mean, yeah, he's had a shit 2015. I'd say 50%'s not his fault. 50%'s on pullouts. 50%'s on him maybe not making the best fights he can. But it's on a fucking upward trend. Boxing. He's given us this fucking Frampton Quigg fight. That's class. We've got Smith Fielding this Saturday. Looking forward to that. Klitschko Fury. I know that's technically not him, but he's had a hand in it.
Nothing to do with that card. Don't add that.
All right. He's given us White Joshua, and it looks like a pretty good undercard to that as well. So,
on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but he's not. You don't know if it's on pay-per-view yet.
You know it's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it might be.
It's on pay-per-view.
All right, but I don't agree that he's taking it back to the Dark Ages, man. At least he sort of half wants to make the big fights. You don't even know what the fuck Heyman's thinking.
Yeah,
Heyman makes some big fights, to be fair.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
He's made more than Hearn's made.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Well, what good fights has Heyman, like, look at some of the mismatches that Heyman's chucked us this year. At least Hearn, all the main events he's tried to make have actually been okay. They haven't been huge mismatches. It's usually the co-mains that end up being the fucking headliners that are mismatches that he gets shit for.
I agree with Joe. Sorry, Harry.
And I'm not some fucking Hearn fanboy. I mean, I'll shit on him when it's a shit card and the main event's shit. But when the main event's all right and it gets fucking pulled because of an injury and the co-main shit and they go ahead with it, then You know, it's not fucking the end of the world.
Exactly, and you know, one of the things I like Eddie Hearn is he does a lot of interviews and shit. It doesn't make up for it. Doesn't excuse the fact that every now and again, well, every other week he puts on a shit card. but you don't have to watch it. And what I'm saying is, he pays attention to what they're saying on Twitter and stuff because he always addresses the questions asked him. You know, he doesn't hide from it. He gives you a fucking reason for it. Some might call it an excuse rather than a fucking reason, but at least he's giving you some kind of explanation without trying to fucking hide behind some political bullshit. You know, he's addressing the issue. Whether you believe him or not is up to you. I personally believe him.
And yeah, I mean, fucking Heyman, some of the mismatches he's put on, like that Quillen fight, the shit that Wilder's fighting, at least Hearn tries to make decent fights. Like Gavin Eggington, I wasn't that pumped for it, but it was a decent fight, and it just happened to get pulled. And that's not his fault, but, he's had a bit of unluckiness this year, but hopefully next year he'll fucking step on a little bit, but... Yeah, no doubt 2015's been fucking poor from him. I mean, he's had one really good non-pay-per-view card all year, and that's not good enough, is it? When you come to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And just to finalise on this, the British UK scene is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah, I mean, we got 7. I mean, obviously you don't want to count them all world champs, but we've got 7 people who are recognised as having a belt. I remember it was fucking 3 for like years, like sometimes even 2. At least we got 7 world champs now, and I know there's loads of WBA bullshit belts floating about out there, but you can't argue that British boxing is actually in a better state than it was when he first took over.
Harry, can you argue that?
Just fuck her, I can't be bothered. This year's been terrible.
It has.
And
Yeah.
with his, and if he had the chance, he'll make next year even worse.
Oh.
All right, he's given us Frampton Quigg. He's helped made it, but it's pay-per-view. All right, it's a good fight. But let's see what free cards we get.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm going to say.
I agree with you, man.
If it's again the same this year, then I might be done.
Yeah, I was fucking feeling pretty low like about a week ago.
I was nearly gone.
Yeah, man, it's been fucking shit this year.
No, I agree. I totally agree. It's been shit, but I think 2016 is going to be a great year for boxing.
Well, we've been given that light now at the end of the dark tunnel, and it's got Scott Quigg's name on it with Carl Frampton the Jacko.
Nice. All right. Any final thoughts about this fight, or should we move on?
Right, so what round are you picking then, Harry? Let's get an early prediction in.
Yeah, I've got Frampton decision.
I got Quigg round 8.
No, you're not picking Quigg, are you?
Yeah. Team Lego Muncher.
You're picking Quigg, you have to go early. You can't go late.
I think he's just going to grind him down.
Nah. Well, okay, that's your opinion.
You come in, Harry, then, or what?
We won't get tickets, but if we get, of course.
Tickets are going to be like hen's teeth, man. They're going to be difficult to get hold of.
Harry, can we use your Fight Pass subscription to get tickets?
You're the one who fight this thing. I never believed in that scam.
You can wear your Fight Pass t-shirt, Harry.
Harry uses that to clean the windows. Alright, did anyone see any of the weekend's action? The amazing fights we had this weekend?
I watched Conor McGregor against some massive cunt from Game of Thrones, if that counts.
What's that, MMA?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't count. Anything else?
Yeah, I've seen that. I'll sign Charlo.
What did you think, Chew?
I like Charlo. Charlo's nice. He's got nice combos.
I'll see he couldn't do nothing about that right hand, could he?
Nah, could he fuck? He had no answer for it. But that I'll seen. He's got strange feet. His feet are too far apart. He couldn't move out of the way. And Jermaine Charlo is just smooth as silk. He's nice. I like the way he throws a right hand, and then the left hook just comes from the momentum of the right hand.
Yeah.
Just like a smooth transition.
And he'll mix it.
The left hook.
He'll throw it to the head, or then he'll mix it to the body as well.
Yeah. It's like the right hand, and then the right hand will move him over to the left, and then he's just coming back with the left hook. Perfect leverage, man. That's like picture perfect technique. I'm not a particular fucking. I'm not gonna fucking start getting all excited because Jermaine Charlo beat some bum on fucking PBC, but what I will say is the eye test. Charlo's got it. Whatever it is, he has it, and he'll be a fucking problem for anybody who faces him.
Anyone else see this? I doubt I rewatched this, to be honest. Anyone see the Malik Scott Tony Thompson fight? No. Alright, I'll just give my quick thoughts. Very slow paced fight, man. I know, like, anytime you watch a Malik Scott fight, you'll always hear the commentators say that, you know, he never really boxes in the style of a heavyweight, and he doesn't. He's on his jab a lot. His movements really pretty good for a heavyweight, you know. Heavyweights are not really known to be, you know, light on the feet. He'll spin out to the left. Thompson just didn't really cut the ring off enough. He was just winging away, and, you know, Scott would just kind of shoulder roll him or just get on the ropes and just duck and dive, get away, you know, check left hook him, spin out. Very poor fight, I thought. Thompson was poor. I think he's kind of done now. I can't really see anything else for him. Even though he kind of reignited his career a bit by getting those wins against Price and Solis and stuff like that. I think he's kind of reached the end now.
I think he'll get one more payday.
What, against who though? Like, who's gonna really?
AJ.
Against who?
AJ.
No, if AJ would have fought, he would have fought him by now.
Yeah,
You
even
can't
if.
fight him after he's bloody lost to Malik Scott.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Hearn got the shits to him the way he took out Price. I think he thinks Thompson's a genuine test.
Thompson's 100% done. I bet he doesn't even train anymore. He most probably trains for like a week now.
Yeah, I know.
He's got like fucking just fat rolls, you know, like you see in his shorts, man. He's the guy's a mess, man. I like him though. He's got a funny personality, man. If you remember that interview after the Price fight when he's talking about his wife, man, it's like
that's probably the best interview I've ever seen given on a ring apron.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Anyone can donate a wheelchair for my wife.
She ain't gonna be walking tomorrow.
Oh, fucking brilliant that was.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he's done. Scott, there's not really Scott. He's already fought Wilder. You know, there was that wink that Chew thought he saw. You know, is he really gonna fight Klitschko or Fury after that? I can't see that. Do I see Hearn bringing him over?
Maybe Thompson can ask Yusuf Mack to sort him out with some post-boxing work.
Tony Thompson's wife probably needs a wheelchair because that's where he keeps all the drugs up her ass crack.
All the PEDs
You know,
he was using.
Yeah, he's never looked the same since he got cut. That's real talk. He's I like his skills, but I mean, let's be honest, he's what, 46? Something like that. 46, 47. And
He's only 44. He's only young, Chew. Come on.
44, come on. That's old. Even for heavyweight terms, and he's had a long career. I'm not saying he's I just wonder. I think his whole career is suspect. And if you're getting caught like that, and is he not meant to be suspended anyway?
I think he did his suspension. That's why he was kind of inactive for so long.
No, his suspension's only in Britain. It's a British board, isn't it? It's not like a, global ban. I don't think.
So what did he get caught with?
And I don't think it was a PD. I think it was like one of his ADHD medicine. No, some kind of medicine he has. I can't remember. Someone in the chat might know. But actual condition he's got. No, it wasn't PDs. Trust me.
Stanozol or whatever the fuck.
Viagra.
I'm not sure it's Viagra. I think they're joking. But,
They've all said it.
I think. Go on.
Well, Viagra is an actual performance enhancer, and I'm not joking. It fucking.
No, it was blood pressure. That's it. Yeah, it was blood. He had like high blood pressure. Adderall, something like that.
It says hydrochlorothiazide or something like that, and it was for the David Price rematch. Yeah.
Well, if you like me and you believe fucking everyone's on it, then it doesn't actually affect anything. He's just one of the stupid dickheads that actually got caught.
Yeah, I feel sorry for David Price. I mean, he had an exciting career in front of him, and now look what he's doing. He's wearing fucking suits that don't match him.
He's fucking looking in bin liners for suits, isn't he?
I mean, what career has he got now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can say that. You know, Thompson cheated Price out of a glorious career.
But
I think he could.
Just going back to Malik Scott though, he got dropped in the 9th round. He kind of controlled the fight, but Thompson went to throw a right uppercut. It kind of just grazed him, and he came back with like an overhand right from the southpaw stance, and he kind of landed like top of the head / temple. And Scott went down like a ton of bricks, man. And I'm suspecting that maybe Malik Scott's got like a glass temple, where just anything near the temple, man, the guy just collapses. Because I think that was the kind of shot that Chisora caught him with as well. Yeah, that's about it for that.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, Malik Scott. I'm not even got anything to say about him.
Alright, let's move on. Did anyone see the brutal head clash between Jose Zepeda and his opponent Jose Alfaro?
Heard about it though.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube today, man. It was a pretty brutal head clash, and Zepeda's not got any luck. I know my boy Naota was saying the same thing, and it's just every time he fucking goes into a fight, the guy's getting injured somehow, and it's a shame, man, because I thought maybe he'd trying to get this Flanagan rematch going soon, and now he's got that big cut under his eye. I think that's going to get pushed back as well, and he'll probably want another fight before he goes in with Flanagan now, because Flanagan's looking a bit like a beast, and I think Zepeda's probably thinking that fight's a lot harder the second time round than it was the first time, if that makes sense. Like, Flanagan never really did that to anyone before, and him doing that, and Zepeda's now looking at, and he's been kind of inactive as well.
Who's Flanagan's mandatory? Is it Zepeda now, or is it? Was Magdaleno the mandatory? He was the mandatory, and then after that, it's supposed to be one voluntary, I think, and then
he's got like 12 months now or something, hasn't he? He's got a bit of time.
Yeah, but I think Zepeda will probably want to recover from this cut, and then he'll probably want another fight in between. So he's pushed him back for a while, yeah. But I think the next fight for Flanagan is going to be the Derry Matthews fight, I guess, probably some point next year. Again, fucking Mr. Warren, just to shit on him quickly, starting putting fucking adverts on his website, Lee versus Saunders, and we'll have 2 title fights on the bill.
Yeah, and he's already confirmed Flanagan.
Yeah, he's got a picture of Flanagan on there, got a picture of Smith on there, and then, fucking Flanagan saying, I'm having a rest, I'm not fighting. It's like, why the fuck are you, advertising it before you even spoke to your boxer whether he's going to fight or not, man? It's just fucking stupid.
I think I've told you before, whenever I go to the train station, I still see posters of the Buglioni Chudinov fight.
Yeah, you sent me the pictures of them, just it's pretty poor, that, man.
Or even the rescheduled one, the original one, July 16th. It's like, so he's forgotten to take them down and he's still paying rent on it or whatever.
You know what, though? He's probably not even done that. He's probably paid someone to get hold of one of those keys that opens up the advert boxes. And he just fucking fly posting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I tell you, I would never want to play golf with fucking Zepeda, man. I'd be walking 10 metres behind the cunt. Just in case lightning struck him. To be the most unluckiest man in the world.
Yep.
I thought
tell you
the
what, go on.
I thought the fucking headbutt was accidental, but deliberate accidental from the other guy. He's kind of
Gone in with his head a bit.
It wasn't Zepeda's fault at all. I thought the guy was putting his head and throwing a right hand, but he was like kind of deliberately missing with his fucking right hand to fucking put his head on.
You know what? I did notice that as well. I thought I was maybe being a bit harsh, but it did seem like he was doing that.
And
But
that
again,
happens a lot in boxing. I wish more referees would pay attention to that.
it's
shit, man.
difficult, don't it? Southpaw versus orthodox, isn't it? That's the issue. But he
And
was,
of course, Cam, it's always the orthodox fighter's fault when that happens.
yeah, of course. Come on, no. It's never my fault.
I'll tell you what I did see, actually. Kev's boy, Yevgen Kaitrov, absolutely waste some unfortunate bastard in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's up there for knockout of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, that was just... The guy looked mental as well, the one he knocked out. This Kaitrov just fucking slayed him, turned around, got up on the turnbuckle and started celebrating.
Proper, like, as she would say, WWE style.
Oh, he was monster. We need to hurry him along and see if we can get him in with Triple G before.
I don't know though, like, that was impressive, him going back to the Ukraine, but he's not really done anything like that when he's been in the States, been on Showbox or any of these channels.
Yeah. Can you imagine what Triple G would be if he fought in Kazakhstan then?
Yeah.
But seriously though, this guy, he looks like a pretty good prospect. You know, Kev's been on about him for a while now. He was got good pedigree as well. He's part of the Ukrainian Olympic team that had Alexander Usyk as well in. So, you know, he's got a lot of amateur pedigree, and he's obviously got stupid power.
Yo, Ari, did you see this KO?
I just got it up on YouTube now. I'm quickly watching it.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, me and Joe will talk for a bit longer until you guys seen it.
It's good though, because it's like a lead right. He doesn't even set it up. It just goes, have this, you can't, bang.
When you see Kaitrov's body shape though, like, I've spoke to Kevin in the past, and he says like the Ukrainian guys don't like to cut weight, man, and he does look like a 154 pounder to me. I've seen him in pictures. I think he sparred with Triple G, and you know, stood side by side. Kaitrov's visibly smaller, and like Triple G's not the biggest middleweight.
Oof.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's out like Paul Williams.
I know, he goes surfing, doesn't he?
I like how Kaija just did a little quick look back.
Just in case, innit? Just in case he's getting up.
Remember.
I can't believe the ref kept counting for that long. I'm like, yo, the guy's out, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, he was counting in hours, wasn't he?
You wanna... He deserved to get knocked out for that mullet.
I know, shocking Barnett.
He did look like a rock star from the 80s, innit?
Yeah.
But the scary thing is, that right hand that he threw, it wasn't even like a kind of full force punch, because he was following up with a left hook immediately after.
Yeah, he just missed that as well, the left hook, yeah.
It's not even fucking like it. I'm not going to say an arm punch, but it's just that kind of just...
Can you imagine if he'd have planted that left hook before he'd even fallen down?
Exactly. I mean, he wouldn't be here. But I mean, I know we're kind of laughing, but when some guy goes down like that, it's kind of like, oof.
Yeah, I know.
Look at me, it looks as if he's fucking dead.
Yeah, he looked like he was out for a while as well, you know.
Yeah.
Not to say mishmash city. You know, I don't like whether it's in fucking Ukraine, Kazakhstan, or fucking Timbuktu. I don't want to see a mismatch.
True.
I never want to see a mismatch.
It was a good punch though, because he looked like he was going to throw it straight, and he kind of just swerved it round the guard and caught him flush, man. It was a nice shot, but I agree about seeing mismatches. But I don't know. You look at this guy's record; he only had, I think, 2 defeats at the time, so you don't really know how good he is. You kind of have to look at the people that he fought. The guy he fought before the Kaitrov fight was 4 wins, 19 losses, and 2 draws. So in a 6-rounder,
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a showcase back home.
Yeah, I think you're right, Choose.
Say that again, Cam. 4 wins, 19 losses, and what?
2 draws.
You'd think when you got to 15 losses, you'd think, fuck's sake, man.
In a 6 rounder as well, but yeah. Joe's right, that was a showcase for Kaitrov kind of going back to the Ukraine, after, fighting in the States. But yeah, definitely we don't want to see mixed matches because people can get hurt.
Yeah, I know, and this is the thing, innit? When you see that sort of knockout in a big fight, like say if Frampton slept Quigg like that would just be fucking unreal. But when it's a bum against a monster puncher, yeah, while it does have some sort of comedy value initially, it's not like you want to see all that shit week in, week out.
Yep, totally agree. Ari, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I saw it. I said.
Brutal?
Yeah, brutal. Yeah, like Paul Williams, like I said, man. He was just out. But yeah, I don't want to forget, like, Kaitrov didn't look good in his fight before this, where the Brinson fight, where the ref kind of saved him, where Brinson took a knee and then the ref decided to wave it off instead of giving him a count.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that fight. He was losing that as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he was about to lose it, or he might have won I think he was going to lose a split decision on the cards if the ref had let the fight go on. I can't fully remember, but yeah, the ref kind of saved him. It seemed like corruption to me, really, but the ref kind of saved him. So yeah, I think he would have lost. He would have lost a split.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that. And Brinson's nothing special. We've seen Brinson get knocked out by Durrell, and other fights where he hasn't looked good. So yeah, there's still questions on Kaitrov. And yeah, Kev told us about how he doesn't cut weight, and he definitely looks small middleweight. He really should be fighting at 154. He actually looks like a 154 fighter. You wouldn't think he's a middleweight. So yeah, that's definitely going to hinder him if he ever does get to the top level.
If he cut down to 154, I'd probably
I don't know, mate. There's some sharks down there.
No, I was saying I think both Charlos kind of beat him easily. To be honest, I think they'd outbox him. If Brinson's outboxing you, then the fucking Charlos are definitely going to outbox you.
It could just be one of those Selby nights, innit, where you don't know what's wrong and you just end up looking like shit.
You still not got over that night, have you yet?
No, I haven't. I'm pissed off. Hey, by the way, while we're on the topic of Selby, did anyone watch his little brother's debut?
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. Was it available anywhere?
Yeah, I'll send you a link later if you want. It was just like a little it was actually an 8-rounder.
Not bad for your debut.
Yeah, I think it was I think this guy might have been undefeated. Hold on, let me check the box rec.
What was the outcome of the fight?
Selby stopped him in the 4th round. I mean, Lee's proper high on him, and you would be an ex, he's your brother, and you want him to be like fucking get as much like exposure as you can get. But he's down in the flyweights, which is pretty good in the sense that he's going to be chucked in quickly. I mean, there's only about 15 flyweights in Britain, so he's obviously going to have to fight some fucking decent people. Hopefully he fucking sleeps Prince Patel sooner. It would rather than later. But no, the guy he was 15-7, so that's not too bad. And the way he was like throwing his punches, he reminded me a lot of his older brother. He had that sort of like slick style. He was ducking in and out of range, giving it the big swag and all that. And he looks like he's got some power as well. So he'll be one to look out for. And it won't be long before he's in some decent fights as well.
Nice. Thank you for that, Joe. My boy Dan's jumped on the line, but I don't know if he's talking or just listening. Are you there, Dan? I presume he's just listening for now. Any other news you guys have seen or heard throughout the week that you want to talk about? I'm not really bothered about this Yusuf Mack thing.
Pumped up to champion emeritus, whatever bullshit is.
I don't understand that. If you've retired, though, how can you be a champion emeritus?
Because they make up the rules for him, innit? And it's not even. I'm not going to blame him. I'm just going to blame the organisations where they're just desperate and hoping that if he ever does come back, they get some kind of fees from him. That's what it really comes down to, I guess. But yeah, apparently but I don't know how John Jackson has got up the WBC rankings. So apparently he might fight Charlo, the other Charlo, for the WBC 154 belt. This guy got killed by Andy Lee. I don't know how he's back.
He was smashing Andy Lee around the ring before he got slept.
He got slept.
He
He actually got slept. They could have tucked a pillow under him and he would have been done for the night.
Hey, that was a brilliant knockout, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was class. Lee got dropped as well before that. He was having a terrible fight until that fucking one punch.
Yeah, I didn't even see the punch the first time I saw it.
Since then, Jackson's had 2 fights, won them both UD 10 rounders.
Yo, there's like 3 154 pounders that are fucking. They all sound like. I just get confused. John Jackson's the one that got slept by Lee. I
think Julian's his brother as well.
Yeah, Julian's the brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the beast, isn't he?
Well, he's supposed to be the beast, but he actually lost his last fight.
Yeah, he did.
He got knocked out in 2 rounds.
Isn't there another one as well?
There might be another one. But it seems like, unfortunately, most of them have inherited their dad's chin.
It's like the Jackson 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they're all heavy punchers, but at the same time, they can't take a punch. And that was what their dad Jackson's problem was, isn't it? He was a beast, but all of his losses, he got knocked out, didn't he? Julian Jackson.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a successful son of a boxer?
Floyd?
Touche,
that's the other one.
Take
Well.
my hat off there.
Hey, that's the other one I was thinking of. Julian Williams.
I'm talking about, I don't consider Floyd Mayweather Sr. to be successful. You know what I'm saying? The son of an elite fighter.
That's a good question. I can't think of one off the top of my
The
head.
only one I can think of is Eubank Jr.
Yeah, but
And he
not
hasn't won
yet.
anything yet.
Not yet.
True.
And
Like,
Chavez Jr. is a fucking bum.
Hey, I got one. Layla Ali.
She was successful though, but yeah,
I'm not joking. She was a fucking beast.
yeah, but she did duck Ann Wolf. So
Yeah, she ducked Ann Wolf hard.
Nah, the other guy I was getting confused with is fucking Julian Williams.
Yeah.
There's loads of
He's the future.
There's loads of John Julian Williams Jackson bullshit, but he's actually quite good, isn't he?
my boy Trout still beats him though.
That IBF Charlo's ducking him at the moment. And Trout's been ducking him for like 2 years.
Nah, man, Trout beats him easy. Don't forget our side battery.
Not a side bet, we got money on the line.
Yeah, man, easy money for me.
Play. I don't lose bets.
Quick though, Trout was doing the part of the broadcasting team on the Tony Thompson Malik Scott fight, man. You know, I think he's decent at that. I could see him whenever he decides to retire going into doing that full time, because I think he's better than fucking BJ Flores. He's better than Sugar Ray. Like, he's decent at doing that. He's good on camera. He gives good breakdown of the fights as they're going on, and he does like interviews afterwards. He does pre-fight fucking you know, how he thinks the fights are going to play out and what the guy has to do to win. So props.
I'll tell you who's going to be a really good broadcaster. I mean, he hasn't done it yet, but I just know he will be good. Is Scott Quigg.
I thought you were going to be serious, didn't you?
Nah. Oh shit. Go on.
The news I heard on the boxing this week that kind of interested me was basically fucking Shane Mosley and one of the Smith brothers, pretty much.
Yeah, Liam.
Yeah, pretty much going back and forth. I mean, it's not a kind of fight I would be interested in watching, to be honest. I think Shane Mosley's fucking gonna die in the ring. You know, he needs fucking Rosado's trainer just to have a word with him. Just fucking, you're gonna die in that ring. I mean, why fight? Why?
He needs Billy Briscoe in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that got me pissed off this week was Sky, who don't even need to have any reason to try and sell the Liam Smith fight. Oh fucking hell! The write-up they gave the potential fight was just it just made me want to be sick.
Well, go on. What did they actually say?
Oh, they were saying like, even though Mosley's lost 5 of his last 6 fights, they've come to elite fighters such as Floyd Mayweather Jr., someone at Canelo Alvarez, and Anthony Mundine. I was fucking hell.
Anthony Mundine's elite.
Yeah, it was just disgusting. I was like, you don't even need, you can just call this fight as it is, as a pile of wank.
I'm surprised, like, fucking Sky are even writing up anything about Liam Smith. Maybe they know that Hearn's gonna snap him up soon.
And they're like, knocked out fellow veteran Mayorga in 6. It's like, fuck off.
Let's be honest. If you were like a Frank Warren fighter, you'd want to come over to Sky. Like, why would you want to stay with Frank Warren?
I agree, but there's something about Smith and Warren. He's very loyal to him, man. It's like he could have left. I know there was some type of fucking issues with the legal issues and stuff, and I did hear that maybe, allowing his brothers to leave, he kind of like said, alright, you let them leave but I'll stay, or some shit like that. I don't know if that was true or not, but even after he won his title, he was thanking Frank, for kind of believing in him and promising him a world title shot, and he did deliver. It was a bit of an easy title shot, and the route to it did take maybe longer than it should have, but I class him as a world champ. I like to watch him fight, man, so I think Warren's done well for him, I think.
I want to get to the stage of the show where I can ask Gary who's fooling who.
We'll get there very soon. But let's have a little break, talk about the prediction league. Talking about Ari, still on top. Mo and Tens in second. TBE.
Hold on one sec, Cam.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm top. Mo and 10. You're not
twat.
joint with me anymore, right? Again, Lil Birdie told me you were crying on Twitter about Cam saying that I was top earlier. Well, guess what? I'm top this time. Not definitely on. No sharing of the points this week, lad. Step your game up.
No,
Ari, you can get on Twitter now and see him crying about it.
Ari must have a secret
I heard
account.
he was
Man.
crying.
Get on Twitter, mate. You can see for
right.
yourself then.
I ain't got time.
You must have Twitter, man. How would you else would have known about that conversation?
I've got sources.
You got sources.
Hey, they ain't the same one as me, are they?
Mine's actually legit, and they actually tell me, in advance. Not like you, with your sources tell you when everyone else knows.
Your source is Twitter.
My sources are fucking exceptional.
Your source is boxing scene. Alright, Ari's on top. Mo and 10 second. TBE Chef third. Animal Status fourth. I've dropped down to fifth. The Marcus Malvo's in sixth. El Terrible in seventh. Arizona Slim in eighth. Mun in ninth. And Brutal Deluxe in 10th. Loads and loads of fights in this week's prediction league. I put the Russia card up on the weekend. They went up on Saturdays to give you guys extra time to do your research, and I added the rest today. I'm not going to go through all the fights. Just go to theboxingcoalition.com, click on predictions, click on predict, and you'll see them all. And if you've not signed up, then sign up. It's free. Takes a couple minutes to sign up. Choose a username and you're in there. And let me give the chat, our loyal chat, a shout. Strong chat room today. We got Casual Fan, Tico, Boxing Analyst 1, Wasif 1, David Chapman, Sam Pickett, Loma Usyk Klitschko, The Boxing Rhino, Joe Morgan, Bill Bones 101, NK Healthy, Lawrence Margetts, Nothing for Something, Marky Mark TMT, Adolf for Real, Pinhead 360, J Swede the A-Side, Batman Fury, Basileos, Dean Scores, my boy Scorsese, Mr. Dermo, Davis Lee 1, Jack Hughes 16, Davy Boy Essex, Kevlar, Raphael 22, The Compo, Colm, Thundergatti, I Am Me, George 92, Death Via Prozac, Danny Yankee, Tony Yayo, and 17 guests. Alright, boys, shall we kind of just preview some of the fights that we're looking forward to next week? Well, this week. I've said on last week's show that I'm looking forward to this Russia card on the weekend. Some really decent fights. And Bradley Rios, we've kind of discussed in previous shows. I'm looking forward to that. Who's feeling who? I said it again. I almost said it again here. I said who's feeling who last week, and Chemo took the piss out of me for saying that. But yeah, feeling.
What Russia card on the weekend? Sorry.
It's on the weekend. The Russia card's on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's on Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah.
It's fucking class, actually.
It is a really good card. Yeah.
You're gonna see your boy Cuenca or whatever.
Yeah, man, my new favourite boxer.
TV. What was he, 47-0?
Something like that.
Yeah. With like 2 knockouts.
48-0.
You got like 2 knockouts. Fucking what a beast.
Who needs knockouts when you got skills, man? When the skills pay the
He
bills.
probably doesn't even spar, does he? He just spars in between fights. Like, what a fucking hero. Yeah, for real though, I'm looking forward to that card. There's some fucking good cruiserweight fights in it as well. I mean, was it Makabu versus is it Lebedev?
No, it's Coyote versus Lebedev, I think.
Coyote versus Lebedev, my bad. And yeah, and then you've got Povetkin, Whack. Even though that's Whack's a pretty good. He's all right. I just want to see if Povetkin can knock him out.
I don't think he will, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's a future AJ opponent right there.
Yeah, I agree about that. They were a bit premature when they mentioned him a bit earlier and then kind of turned away from him. But
and it's good because it's like 4 hours ahead, so it'll be on at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, we won't have to stay up too late. Like, I'll probably get in from work and like it'll probably just be starting. So
it's pretty good. I can have Bayern Munich raping Arsenal on my TV, and then watch some Russian boxing on my laptop.
Fair enough. We talked about Bradley Rios a bit. Feeling versus Smith, we kind of touched on them. You guys want to pick the fight that you're looking forward to most of the weekend? We'll discuss that. Chew, you pick a fight.
Bradley and Rios.
Fuck off.
And,
I've got to be honest.
Chew, we've kind of like said in the past, I think he's shot. Do you definitely picking Bradley, aren't you?
I definitely am. I'm picking. We've talked about it before, but I'm picking Bradley by UD. However, I think it's close to being 50-50, maybe slightly favouring Bradley. I don't like if Rios knocked him out. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
For real? You think Rios is going to knock Bradley out?
No. Hear me out. If you were to put a gun to my head, I would pick Bradley to school him. Not just win, but school him. Win every round, but I just think that Rios is going to step to him, eat his punches all fight, and then at the end of the fight, Rios is going to have a lot of success, and it's going to be a case of whether Bradley can hold on.
Chew, in your opinion, what do you think Atlas has tried to implement into, Bradley's arsenal that maybe he's not seen before?
He's probably
Step back, bang.
Somebody in the chat, Wasif, is asking, Chew, when did Rios last rock anyone? January. His last fight. I mean, he fucking rocked somebody in his last fight.
He's fucking rocked your world now, mate. The way you're talking about him, Christ.
Did you not see fucking Bradley get wobbled his last fight?
What, yeah, but that was because he just lost the head against Vargas. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he just wins every second of every round, and then last round, like Vargas, he gets clocked, and there's a little bit of Bradley drama, but then when wins a clear UD.
And like Rios knows how to finish. Like when is Vargas not doing a 1 out?
I don't know, man. I think people overrate Rios. I think he's shot to shit.
I totally agree. I've said it in the past, man. I think he's at a weight where his power's not that relevant. Even though like he did knock out Alvarado, but Alvarado was just he looked terrible.
I'm glad he didn't fight Brook, because Brook would put him in a fucking coma.
I agree. Brook would win that fight easily, but he's not fighting Brook. He's fighting Bradley. Bradley can do a lot of things. He can't punch though, and I think that's a good styles matchup because Rios has a great chin. Rios is slow compared to Bradley, but I've been hearing Rios has been on fire in training.
What a fucking Ellie Sackback.
A lot of people are saying it.
I'm never really.
My boy Steve Kim's been saying it.
There you go, name dropping again, playing MV2 bingo.
It's got to be said, these are the sources.
They're not Joe's sources, though.
No,
They're better.
Ari, what's your thoughts? Who you picking and how do you see the fight playing out?
I got Bradley UD. Bradley's got too much for him. Rios is too slow. I don't think he's got the power to knock out Bradley. I think knockout's his only chance because obviously it's Bradley. Too much speed, too much agility. But I think the fight will be quite boring for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
I see some like cuts from head clashes as well, man.
Yeah. You know how Bradley comes in.
Yep.
So, yeah.
With that
But
big
I'm not really hyped for the fight at all, really.
I know, because you're too busy looking forward to the real fight on Saturday, aren't you, Harry?
Yep. That's not the biggest fight of the week.
Good boy.
About to see Smith get knocked out.
So he's fooling Rocky, is what you're saying.
This
I think
is
so,
actually
but I'm just a hater because I don't like Gallagher fighters, and I've always said I think Callum Smith's hiding glass.
I swear I started that.
No, I started. Don't try it. Cam, tell him.
no, he did start it, but
Hey, if he is, I'll give you all the credit in the world, mate, because that is a fucking hell of a call.
I called it since his debut.
You just think that he's so big above the ground that there must be
I
glass.
think he's just hiding glass. No, but it's funny. He hasn't really got what's he been missing these last few fights? That inside game, isn't it? I'm trying to think.
Well, he was getting tagged to fuck against Rafa, wasn't he?
That's it. No counter punching, no counter punches. That's it.
He doesn't. None of the
counter punching at all.
None of the Gallagher fighters do that, do they? That's all they do is they walk over to a heady bag and practice a left hook to the body.
He didn't look that good against can't remember the guy's name, the French guy. He didn't look. I didn't think he looked that good to him. Versus him.
I don't know.
I don't really. To be fair, I don't think either of these guys are going to be world champions. I've never really seen the Fielding hype either. But if I had to pick one of them, I'd pick Fielding because I think Fielding has got the better chin, and they both have big power in my opinion. And that's what it comes down to, really, the better chin. They're both tall, super middleweights, long reach. Both have good right hands. I think Fielding will knock him out. That's how I'm going anyway. But I guess the sway is that I don't fuck with Gallagher.
Gallagher's about to fuck with you, though.
I don't know, man. When you look down at Fielding's resume, like for a guy that's been professional 2 years longer than Callum Smith, his resume is pretty weak, man.
Yeah, but I guess he didn't have the amateur background that Callum did, going to the Commonwealths and the Europeans and Worlds and stuff like that.
And he didn't have the push, really.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
He was with Hatton for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then, he won prize fight, and then Hearn snapped him up, but then Hearn never really seemed to have faith in him, or because I guess, I don't know, he's not really a name, or, his personality is quite shit.
Yeah, we all know who Hearn wants to win, isn't it?
Yeah, we all know he wants Callum Smith to win. Definitely.
Kind of props to Hearn, though, man. because I thought you might take these two guys in different directions. I don't think this
Took
fight would
his
have happened
time.
yet. It did take his time, but it has happened relatively early for Hearn, like bringing two of his guys together in a biggish
fair
fight.
play.
So
You'd say,
I
you'd
guess-
almost say the timing was fucking perfect, let's be honest.
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I think if Smith can survive like the earlier rounds, I think Fielding's power kind of diminishes a bit after the
Yeah,
6th, 7th.
I fucking completely agree with you, Cam. I think if Smith's going, it's early. It's like 3-4 rounds, isn't it?
Yep.
And then if not, if he can stand, if Smith takes the best Fielding's got, he will outbox him because it doesn't take a genius to know that he is the superior boxer.
Yep. And I think if he goes to the body as well, like starting from the mid rounds, I think that'll definitely weaken Fielding, man, because Smith's an excellent body puncher, man. And those punches are going to drain the energy out of him.
Does rip them in, doesn't he?
Yeah, especially that left hook. He kind of like wraps it around the elbow as well.
But you know what? It's pretty calculated by Hearn, you know, because if Smith disposes of Fielding in like 6-7 rounds or something, fucking hell, the amount of momentum that's going to be with him for a Groves fight or an Abraham fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this fight, you know, because it is a genuine 50-50 fight.
It is, mate. It's a crossroads fight as well, because if Fielding wins, is that the end of Smith's world title hopes? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
He's not. It's fucking good, this, you know. I'm looking forward.
I
Shame
agree.
the undercard's a bit shit, though.
Yep. Chew, what's your thoughts on the fight?
I just want to clarify, Ari, you're picking who?
He thinks
Fielding.
Smith's fooling Fielding.
You want to put money on that, Ari?
Oh,
I wouldn't go that far, mate. I don't trust either of these guys. I'm just picking Fielding because I'd love to see Gallagher's face if his boy got knocked out.
I love Gallagher's just weighing in now with the shit talk. He's a fucking mug, isn't he? What a fucking cunt.
I think Callum sends him back to prize fighter.
You're gonna see Rocky Fielding in a fucking cruiserweight prize fighter afterwards, yeah?
I think he's going to smoke his boots. And he's got absolutely no shot. I like his power, but I don't. He's improving. I'll give that. But I can remember the first time I saw Rocky Fielding, and I thought, a poor man's Nathan Cleverly. and then all of a sudden he got power.
Do you know how poor that man must be? He's a poor man's Nathan Cleverly.
Pretty poor, but he can. I don't know where the powers came from, but I give him a puncher's stance. I definitely think that out of the both guys' resume, Brian Vera is the best one.
I know, and that was fucking pathetic. That was because he was shot to shit.
I'm actually surprised this fight is happening. I could have been built up to something.
Yeah, I don't know whether to listen to you two, because the last time you called something this big, you went for the Cortese, and you fucking picked it, mate.
You're picking Fielding as well?
I don't know, mate. I just want to enjoy this fight and not put labels on it.
Yeah, I'd actually prefer if I could just sit back and just watch it and not root for anyone, really. Because, like I said, I don't really care about either guy. Neither guy are.
Yeah.
Both guys would lose to the girl, in my opinion. You know, I don't really care for either of them.
Yeah, but do you know what? I'm going to sit down with a beer and enjoy a fucking proper fucking fight for a good title on a Saturday night and watch some boxing, and I'm going to fucking enjoy myself, because it's not often we've had this year, so I'm going to fucking savour it, and I don't have to pay extra for it either.
I agree to an extent, but I also like picking not the underdog, but the guy who's, for whatever reason, the Smith family is unpopular. It's an unpopular family. I like to pick the guy who's against the grain. I don't know why, it's just more of a thrill to me, like when fucking George Groves knocked down Carl Frampton in the first round. I was like, whoa! I was getting up off my seat. I was just yes. I don't know why, because I don't really fucking hate Carl Froch, but it's just that so many people were going against George Groves that it was just such a fucking shock. And I know Callum Smith is the favourite for this fight, but I still feel that the majority of the people would want him to lose just because of his brother. No one likes his brother. Therefore, I'm going to support the Smith family. Because that's the kind of man. I'm just like a contrarian, you know. I like to play devil's advocate. That's basically what I want to do, and I want Callum Smith to be a success because, at the end of the day, I do think he's the truth.
Well,
I think that whole family's good apart from fucking Paul.
Choose Team Smith like me. I'm picking Callum as well. I think he'll probably 12 round UD. I think he'll kind of brace the earlier rounds, just kind of tuck up tight, use his movement, let Fielding trying to sap away his energy with just throwing shots, blocking him. And I think he'll start outboxing him in the second half of the fight. But it's a fight I'm looking forward to. Kind of agree with Ari and Joe, just want to sit back and enjoy it. I do want Smith to kind of win, though. I am picking a side because I've kind of been high on Callum. I know he's got his flaws and that, and I know people hate on Gallagher, but I've kind of watched most of his progression so far, and he's decent to watch. I do like guys that go to the body. His build, like a long, stringy build, is not really a guy that goes to the body. He does do that, and he's fucking finished guys with body shots multiple times. I know those guys were probably lower level guys, but it's good to see that fucking body punching, the art of body punching is not dead yet. So I'm backing Mr. Smith. Feeling's getting an L on his fucking record, and then we'll move on. I don't really think Groves will fight Smith yet, man. I think Groves has got his own issues. I think he needs to fucking...
He needs to fucking man up first.
Yeah, he needs to man up, or he needs to just go to a decent trainer. Or I think he'll retire. You know, I think Groves is kind of mentally done. He's one guy that's kind of, you could see like he kind of fucking suffer with depression or some shit like that. I hope he doesn't. I don't wish that on anyone, but you could see him.
You know what? If De Gale had fucked off and retired, or he hadn't won a world title, I think he would. But the fact that he's seen De Gale win a world title, I don't think he's going to stop until he does.
I don't know. I don't think he's got the skills to win a world title now.
Yeah, well, he probably did, but they got taken away from him.
Yep.
No, but with the Smith Fielding, like, I don't know why, but I just get the feeling like I've seen, even though he hasn't even been in a big fight, I think I've seen Fielding's potential. I think I know what he's capable of. And the thing is with Callum, you just don't. So in a way, this is really, even though it's a 50-50, this is really how good is Callum Smith? Because if he's as good as what Sky have been telling us, then, you know, he'll knock Fielding out. But if he's one of those Sky hype train guys, you know, anything can happen. But it'll be interesting to see if Smith is the real deal or not, because if he is, he'll beat Fielding.
On Saturday night, we'll find out who's fooling who.
I know, mate. I'm fucking pumped for it. I think it's a fucking quality fight.
Yep.
Just pray to God there isn't a last minute pull out.
It's actually a fucking decent week this week. Like, we got this great card on a Wednesday, just a random fucking day in the week at a sensible time for those guys in the UK. And then a couple of days later, we got fucking Saturday night. We got this in the UK, and the early hours of Sunday morning, we got the Bradley Rios card. And I want to go back to Chu because I want to talk about Lomachenko. Chu, I know you're high on Lomachenko. I'm high on Lomachenko, but is it fair to say that the guy's really gone backwards, man? And to me, I'm starting to get frustrated with him.
Yeah, same, to be honest. I don't even know the name of the guy he's fighting. I'm still going to go for his ball trick, find out who he's fighting.
He's fighting Romelu Kosaichut, if that's how you pronounce it. Ex-opponent of Lee Selby.
That tells me everything then.
Selby beat him.
Selby's leftovers.
Yeah, Selby's leftovers, basically.
Yeah, just quickly before I go, I was at that fight that Selby fought Koasica, and he is fucking shit.
Yeah.
Alright, that's my last contribution.
Koasica, oh, that Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the fucking
Mexican.
Japanese Mexican that Selby won every minute of every round, and I wondered why he even fucking went, and then I realised I was watching the Swagger Man, so then it wasn't so bad, but... No, but seriously, when I saw that fight, I thought it was some sort of fucking sick joke. I mean, this is supposed to be the greatest amateur fucking boxer of all time. He's won a world title in his second fight, and he's fighting a guy that Lee Selby fought, not even in a final eliminator for a world title. What the fuck is wrong with the world?
Yeah, alright. Joe, I know you got to go, so thanks for being on the show, man. It's good having you on.
Sweet boys, we'll fucking see who's food and host Saturday, eh?
Definitely. Cheers, Joe.
Peace. Cheers, Rob.
Chu, going back to you, Lomachenko. Do you think the goal was just trying to, win the world title the quickest, and then since then they don't really care anymore? His team and his father or himself, they're not so interested in like unifying the division or anything like that.
I don't know what it was. Everyone was kind of looking forward to the Rigondeaux fight. And this is just another showcase. The thing is, like, when Lomachenko faces guys like this, he looks as if he's just on another stratosphere. I can remember he was fighting the last guy he fought, the Puerto Rican guy, and he looked fucking like, I don't know, it was like the Matrix or something. It was just everything you want boxing to be, but then you remember that he's fighting a bum, or a relative bum compared to him. And it's just going to be even worse because this guy's got an even worse record than the last guy he fought. And I don't really... Like, the thing is, like, see if you were watching the last Lomachenko fight and then you were looking at Twitter, like, Lomachenko's name was actually trending on Twitter. I think Lomachenko was fighting on the Mayweather undercard, right? Pacquiao Mayweather.
Yeah.
And Lomachenko's name was trending on the world Twitter, and everyone was mostly casuals, obviously, and they were saying, "Oh, who is this Lomachenko guy? This Lomachenko is fucking amazing." But Lomachenko wasn't fighting anyone. He wasn't fighting anyone I know. So when I watch him in the future now, I'm not really going to pay much attention to what happens in the ring because I know he's going to be fighting some guy he's got absolutely no chance against. Lomachenko. So until he fights someone, I'm not going to be as high on him as what I was, because to go from Gary Russell Jr. to Pirayanio, whatever his name is, some Filipino guy, Gamaliel Rodriguez, and Romulo Kosiaka, his career's actually getting worse.
It is. It's weird. Like, normally the opposite happens. You start off with these guys and then go harder. And like he started off with a decent first fight, his first debut, and then like fucking straight into the stratosphere against Orlando Salido, and then another massive fight against Gary Russell Jr. And then since then he's just fucking gone downhill. I'm really disappointed.
Benjamin Button of boxing.
The Benjamin Button of boxing. That's excellent.
Fucking working backwards.
Sorry, Ari, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's fighting nobody again. But let's see who he fights after this. I can't even bother to really shit on him. Like, who have they got on outside? Apparently, they might be making an Oscar Valdez fight. I'd love that.
Yeah,
I rate that Oscar Valdez, so hopefully someone like him next, someone credible. But again, he's on the top ranked side, and they haven't got a lot of names over there. Heyman's got most of them. So really, who can they really fight on that side? But yeah, they should be able to find someone better than this guy. I didn't know he was fighting this. I didn't even recognize the name. That was just any guy that Selby fought when he wasn't even the world champion. And Selby, I remember that fight. Selby won that fight easy. So I don't know. Really, Selby should have done better in that fight as well. Actually, you would have expected a knockout with that guy. You know, the guy wasn't rated, but he UD'd him. It's just going to be again. I don't know if Lomachenko will knock him out. Most likely knock him out a bit mid to late rounds. But yeah, he should be fighting someone better than this. If you got if you're a world champion, you know?
If the Valdez fight gets made next year, though, I look forward to that because I've seen them in amateur fight, man. And,
yeah, that was a good fight.
I think Loma beats him, but I think it'll be a good test for Loma, man.
Yeah, and it'll be good that if Valdez would take it.
Fingers crossed, man. Like if that happens next year and a few other fights happen, man, like 2016 could look to be a big year in boxing, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Valdez's style is a lot better suited to the professional game than it was the amateurs. So I'm not really putting much stock into the amateur fight that they had.
Fair enough.
I would favour Lomachenko, but I wouldn't hold his amateur win for anything. You know, I wouldn't count for much.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Ruslan Provodnikov's back in Monte Carlo. He was on this card, supposed to be headlined by Jürgen Bremer versus the South African guy, Tommy Gunn. What's his name? His name is Uthausen. Bremer got fucking injured. Kept the card on. Provodnikov's fighting Jesus Prudenko Alvarez Rodriguez. His first fight with Diaz. I think that's the most interesting part to see, kind of, if anything's changed, if he's learned anything, if he's evolved. I can't really see him changing. I think he's a bit of a one-trick pony. I don't think Diaz is going to do anything to change him. You got any thoughts, Stu?
I think Provodenko is who he is. He's never going to change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. The thing Provodenko is missing, I know his name's Provodnikov, guys, but the thing he's missing is a jab. Like, he's got a great left hook, good right hand, but if you can't jab to set those punches up, I don't think you're going to learn it at that stage, that age. You just become so used to throwing lead left hooks, right hands, that it's going to be really fucking... You would need to rearrange his whole style, really fucking break him down and then build him back up again. And I just don't think, after the beatings he's took from everyone, that he's going to get anywhere with it. If he'd done it 5 years ago, maybe, but you know, you've had too many wars, and I just don't see the... I don't see the evolution of how that's going to happen. I don't even think Diaz is that good of a trainer. I mean, he's not a bad trainer. I just don't think he could fucking make a metamorphosis like that.
I agree.
Metamorphosize.
Danielson.
Can he acclimatize though? That's the question. I don't. Can he metamorphosize?
No, he can't. That was the point then.
I know. I'm just fucking around with your word choice, but I agree. I think Tim Bradley. I really don't think Alice is going to have much of an impact, if any, just because I don't know what you guys mentioned in the last half hour or so, but Tim has been with Diaz for about 10 years, I think, and you know, Tim's style, a lot of it is, I think, I actually like Tim Bradley's style in terms of just his boxing technique, but I think a lot of that is him just kind of things that he's self-taught over the years. So I don't think Alice is going to have much of a negative impact, or definitely not a positive impact on the fight. But I just think this fight is more of an indication of how much Tim Bradley has or hasn't declined, because we can all agree that if Tim Bradley was in top form, if this was the Tim Bradley of 2011 or 2012, you know, he would whitewash Rios, and we wouldn't even be entertaining a discussion as to who would win the fight, you know. But the fact that there's constant back and forth, and maybe it's not a 50-50, but maybe the fact that it's a 60-40 or even a 70-30 fight, I think tells a lot about Tim Bradley and how much he's dropped off in the past couple of years. And to tell you the truth, I think it's really sad for Tim because even though I'm not a big Tim Bradley fan, I've never been a Tim Bradley advocate. If you do think about it, his career, it should have gone further than it did. Now, granted, he fought Pacquiao twice, but I think those two fights were more of a detriment to his career than a positive. And secondly, his Marquez fight is the only kind of notable, kind of life-changing fight on his resume. But considering how talented he was and how high on the pound-for-pound list he was in the past, it's a shame that his career was, I think, limited and was very stagnated by the fact that he was forced into top ranks, pool of fighters. Imagine if he could have fought in the top guys at 47. I think his career would have looked a lot different. And I know you can say that about a lot of fighters, but I feel like Tim Bradley is definitely one person whose career could have been changed just if it wasn't for the political landscape of boxing.
Dan?
But Dan.
Yep.
Sorry, Cam. Go on, you go.
That's all right, you go.
Dan, you said that you think Tim Bradley's career should be a lot better. Do you not think he's a Hall of Fame fighter?
I don't. To tell you the truth, I always have difficulty answering that question because I feel like the Hall of Fame type of that kind of an indicator is not what it once was. I mean, when you have a guy like Rocky, a fictional fucking character, as part of your Hall of Fame, then something's fucked up with the system to begin with. And come on, guys like Arturo Gatti, he's supposed to be a Hall of Fame fighter based off the size of his balls. Come on, it's too watered down for me to give a fuck about Hall of Fame careers. But to tell you the truth, I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, do you guys think he's a Hall of Fame fighter? I mean, I know he's a world champ at 2 different weight classes, but I mean, I don't know. His best win is Marquez, and that is damn impressive, even at the age that he beat him at, and the way that he beat him, how decisively Tim beat him. But I mean, if you look at his career, what are his best wins? Is it Marquez, and then Devin? Is it Devin Alexander? I mean, who's in there? I'm asking you guys because I really don't know.
For me, Hall of Fame is very pound for pound. It's too subjective, and I never like these type of conversations because it's just your opinion versus someone else's opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you really look at it, though, I think this goes back to my original point about him being limited by top rank stable, is that I think you can make the argument that performance-wise, that Tim maybe had an equal or a better kind of showing than Miguel Cotto on a per-fight basis, right? But I think Cotto obviously has the much better names, so that's why his career trajectory is kind of shaped a little differently than Tim's. But I think performance-wise, I think Tim is just as up there with Miguel Cotto, and people wouldn't blink for a second when they, talk about enshrining Miguel Cotto in the Hall of Fame. So
yeah,
because Tim at 147, he was pretty much recycled the same fucking names over and over and over again. And just because he's getting paid a lot of money, it still doesn't help in the fact that he could have fought guys like Thurman, even Porter or Brooke, obviously Floyd, Maidana, just other guys at 47, which would have generated so much attention. But it just felt like he was just getting sent the same, reused and, again, recycled fighters that I kind of lost interest in Tim as a fighter, and with no fault of his own, just knowing the promotional company he was tied with.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember a few years ago, when his contract was up for renewal and he re-signed with Top Rank, and he came out in interviews saying, well, I'm getting 3 mil or X, I'm getting a Pacquiao rematch or this and that, and it's, well, yeah, you are, but you, like you said, Dan, you're just having recycled fights, with old guys, like Marquez, look how old he was when he fought him, and now he's fighting Rios, it's I think it would have been better for him to move over to, I think it was Showtime at the time, and obviously Heyman later on, but I think that would have been better because, like you said, Thurman, Porter, Khan, all these fights would have been possible. And yeah, he might not make 2 mil or 3 mil for one fight, but what he would generate through a couple of years of being over on the other side, I think he would have probably made more money if he would have won the bigger fights.
Yeah, and what are you gonna say, True? I know you were kind of fighting for some airtime.
Cam kind of stole my point that his resume could have been a lot better if he would been on PBC and Al Heyman, because I do feel that his career is kind of stagnated fighting all these kind of top ranked round robins where he's got a fucking pool of fighters where they're all fucking fighting each other once, twice, three times. It's kind of boring after a while, but anyway, I digress. He's got a 1-1 over a Hall of Fame fighter, Marquez. He's got a whole fucking bunch of wins against B-level fighters. But it's not just the wins itself, it's the way he won. Goes over to Junior Witter when no one wanted to fight Junior Witter. Knocks him down, dominates him in his hometown. Fucking Devin Alexander, a lot of people were picking Devin Alexander. Fucking dogs him out, makes him quit.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, I'm gonna be really unfair to Tim right now, but in retrospect, I think we can kind of agree that Devin wasn't that good of a fighter. He was an overhyped bum. So, again, that's no fault of Tim's, obviously, and also just a style that Bradley won that fight in, the fashion that he won it in. I have a really hard time giving him any credit for that fashion.
I'll keep going.
It was one of the worst fights I've ever seen.
I'll keep going. Okay,
Yeah.
Lamont Peterson. That was a good one.
I mean, I don't really rank Lamont. I never did.
Kendall
I don't
Holt.
think he's that good of a fighter. Again, Kendall Holt, he's got a lot of power, but he's a definition of a one-trick pony.
Okay.
But I actually no. I actually give Bradley a lot of credit for that fight, though. But that's one fight that I do give Bradley a lot of credit for.
Bradley took that left hook.
He did, and he got right back up like a fucking beast.
Yeah.
So good for him. And let me just ask you guys a question. Again, this is just me, I guess, hating. But what do you guys think about this take? Do you guys think that there are fighters like Bradley who can just absolutely dominate a weight division, but that kind of like talent doesn't transcend the weight divisions? So what I'm trying to say is that I feel like Bradley's physique just kind of forces him to be like this, grade A pound for pound type of level fighter at 140, but that's it. Like there's no room for growth after that, just because of his size, and just because of his size, I guess. And I know people are going to say that he fought Marquez at welterweight, but I think that fight was at 144. But despite the fact, Marquez is still 135, 140 pounder in my opinion. So what I'm trying to say is that I think Bradley is one of those guys who was absolutely dominant and who was a force at one weight division, but he wasn't a guy like Manny or Floyd that could have transcend weight divisions, and that's no knock on him. I mean, I just compared him to two of the best fighters of our generation, so it's not like I'm knocking the guy, but ultimately, to answer your question, I think Bradley does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, no matter how arbitrary that title or slogan is nowadays. I feel like his accomplishments certainly enforce that, but again, I just think if he could have picked the fighters that he wanted to fight, because that's one thing I never deny Bradley is his balls. Even 2-3 years ago when he was in a much better place, I think people would have talked about his career a lot differently than they will now. I mean, because think about it, guys. His past 3 fights after this Rios fight is going to be Rios, Vargas, and fucking Chavez. That's a bullshit resume for a guy.
That's a good resume.
No. It's a bullshit list of fights for a guy who's put in as much work as Tim Bradley has.
Well, he fought Pacquiao.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's a guy who fought Pacquiao twice and beat Marquez in the way he did. He shouldn't be fighting guys like Vargas or Chavez or Rios, man. He should be fighting big money fights, or not big money necessarily, but big name fights. Go after go after go.
Okay, I agree. I agree that the fights could have been better. However, the crutch to your argument is that he's somehow not fulfilled his potential, whereas I do think he has.
Yeah, but so much of potential from a career standpoint is based upon who you fight, right? And when you're limited that opportunity, then I mean, what can you really say about someone's career if he's known for 2 fights?
Marquez and Pacquiao, is that the fight you're referring to?
Yeah, and the Pacquiao fight, that served Tim Bradley no good at all. So
Yeah, I mean, part of me...
he does have a fascinating career. Sorry to cut you off.
That's all right.
No, that was it.
Fascinating in what way?
It's fascinating in that the weight class that he's most known for at welterweight, obviously, is the aspect of his career that wasn't comprised of his best performances. Whereas the weight class where he did much better against better opposition, in my opinion, at 140, is the time in his career that no one will absolutely remember. 10, 15 years down the road. I mean, hardcores will, but your average fan is going to have no recollection of that.
Yeah, it's ironic.
That's disappointing to me. Yeah, it's ironic. Exactly.
I think a guy like Ricky Hatton was probably like in the Hall of Fame before Timothy Bradley just because of one win.
Yeah.
Cost a zoo.
Yeah, and I think Bradley had a better career.
Oh yeah, much better career.
Yeah.
And it's not fair.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys touch on the subject though, because I've gotten to meet Joel Diaz a couple times, and he's probably one of the coolest dudes you're ever going to meet. And for Tim, I don't know if he's gotten brainwashed by his wife or whether his wife practices some kind of magic voodoo shit, but the type of stuff that Bradley has been saying about Joel is just fucking bullshit, and it's honestly making me root for Rios to knock his ass out.
Same.
I hope Rios knocks him the fuck out, because I don't know, the way he's talking, it kind of extends to what we talked about last week. It seems like boxers after they reach a certain point or pinnacle in their career, they just end up turning into prima donnas and talking like bitches. So shame on you, Tim Bradley.
Dan, staying with Diaz regarding Provodnikov. Obviously, you're kind of close with the wild card. You got any inside information of whether the split was amicable or?
Yeah, it was amicable. I mean, it's not like Freddie really gives a shit, right? Because Freddie wasn't even there half the time. That was Marvin's guy, and there's probably not a single person on this world who can hate on Marvin. He's just like the nicest person ever. So it was amicable. I know Marvin. I know Provodnikov's manager. I think he's somehow tied with Postol, so that entire crew is pretty close with one another. So obviously Post also trains with Marvin, and they have a lot of guys from that part of Russia and the Ukraine that filters down to the wild card. So they're all pretty close. But I think they came to the understanding that Ruslan just needs a change of scenery. He needs to implement more boxing into his repertoire. And that's something that Marvin and Freddie, obviously doesn't do a very good job of. So, but I don't think Joel's going to have much of an impact on Provodnikov.
Yeah, I agree. I said the same thing earlier. I think he's kind of set in his ways now. Bit of a one-trick pony.
Yep.
I don't think he can change now.
Exactly. Yeah, man. And I'm in LA for the weekend, so I got a chance to see Marvin, and I got a chance to see Miguel Cotto. And Cotto looks he's shredded, so I can't wait for that fight.
Were you wearing your Canelo shirt when you went to the wildcard?
Nah, I was wearing my wildcard shirt. I had to. Yeah. But,
Judas.
Cotto looks good.
Now, I've saw the pictures of Miguel Cotto from the sparring. He looks beat up.
He does.
He's getting
he
that
cuts
work.
Easily. No, he cuts easily, right? So, and
he's getting hit.
Yeah, of course he's getting hit. I mean, you're gonna get hit in sparring, but I think I got a chance to see. Yeah, of course you're gonna get hit.
Of course you are, but at the beginning,
okay,
I'd expect as you're kind of nearing. How long's the fight? 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? Okay. So he's been in the camp for how long?
For about 4 weeks now. He had a short camp.
It was a very short camp.
Yeah, he had a 7-week camp.
Fair enough. Well, you don't want to overtrain. I suppose that's about right.
Yep.
Who's his sparring partners that's giving him this work?
I know Frankie sparred him a little bit. I know Glenn Tapia that bum. He's sparring Glenn Tapia, probably just to boost his confidence. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I know of. I know he's sparring a couple Ukrainian guys too, but that's about it.
I've been, yeah, it's funny you said Frankie Gomez. I read a couple things on boxing and seen forums that Frankie Gomez is really giving him that work. It was just rumours.
Probably just rumors. I mean, I know Frankie just has a really high pace that he obviously doesn't display in actual fights, but that's a different story. But when Frankie spars, he goes all out. So it's just like high intensity sparring. But I wouldn't say he's really giving him that work. Miguel controls him pretty well. So
Frankie's giving Miguel that work in the queue for the food.
yeah, it's Frankie versus Miguel's fat ass manager. They're the ones that's taking over all the food. But yeah, and I got a chance to actually see that's Assault guy. I got to see him train someone like in person.
Did you shout
And
that's
Gavin-
Assault to him?
Yeah, Gavin. No. I just watched him, and his workouts are pretty fucking. Like, I'm not quite sure how useful they are, but like just the range of motions that he makes his fighters go through is pretty amazing.
What type of like workouts, for example?
For me, honestly, the biggest wow moment was his warm-ups. So, like, when he first gets a fighter, the first like 10 minutes is dedicated strictly to stretching. But what he does is he gets a medicine ball, and he'll have a fighter just on their back, and he'll have these very light 2-3 pound kettlebells, and he'll force them to kind of attach it around their wrist. And he makes them go through like a range of motion, like circular, and then like they go in counterclockwise, clockwise, and he forces them to go the opposite direction. And then he moves over to placing their feet on the medicine ball, and then he'll make them go like around, like just go around in circles while their ass is planted to the ground to improve flexibility, range of motion. And for him, like, it's all about the hip movement. So like what kind of thrust you get out of like a movement. So it's all like very movement-based workouts, but just fast twitch and workouts that force you to focus on your core and forces your hips to just make sudden bursts of motion, which makes sense, because that's where you generate all your power. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to watch, but I'm not quite sure how effective it is.
And seeing Cotto in the flesh, does that change your opinion? You still picking Canelo?
Yeah, I'm still picking Canelo. I think one other thing I was really amazed by was just how small Cotto is. Cotto should he's a welterweight, so I don't know what he's doing fighting at junior middle. So, and actually give him a pass if he doesn't fight Golovkin. I know that may sound sacrilegious, but he's too small. Like he's about 3 inches shorter than Golovkin. So. Yeah, and I want to ask you guys, did you guys get a chance to watch Canelo's media workout?
Nope.
Oh, you guys didn't watch it? Did you, Chu?
Nah, I didn't.
Okay.
Why?
All right. No,
Was he wearing Under Armour?
He was. No, I wanted to ask because he seemed to be focusing a lot more on movement this time around. So his pad work was a little different than what he normally does. So I just wanted to ask what your guys' take was on that. So, I mean, I know you feel comfortable asking that question, Chu, but I'm not quite sure if Cam does.
I mean, it's like trying to put lipstick on a pig. Captain, have you got your win in the bingo now, man?
I think Jack's got the chew bingo.
He's not a mover. He's gonna just come and fucking pressure Cotto, and if he tries to do to Cotto what he done against Mayweather, which is box, then that's stupid, man. You're a fucking brawler. You're a good brawler with hand speed, power. Go in and fucking knock him out. If you try and box him, then, like I say, it's stupid because Miguel Cotto can box all day and night. I'm actually picking Cotto.
You know what? I never bought the idea of Cotto being like this great boxer. I don't even know if he's a good boxer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
when has he displayed really good boxing?
What's his best win? What's his best win? I'm still picking him, but what's his best win?
To me, it's definitely not
What's
anything.
his best one?
It's definitely nothing from 54 above. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want to pose that
Who
question to
Koto's
Ari,
best
but
win?
yeah, who's Koto's best win?
Question to both.
Is it
Uh,
Mosley?
Everyone can.
Yeah, I'd
Mosley.
say Mosley. Yeah.
I thought Mosley beat him.
No, I don't think Mosley beat him.
I had an argument with Gabriel Montoya, fucking name shaking, all over the shop, fucking last time we were there, but I had an argument with Gabriel Montoya on Twitter. I think he blocked me because of this. I said that Miguel Cotto deserves to go into the Hall of Fame for his run at 140 alone. Because when you think about it, he doesn't have any fucking big names on his resume. Like Mosley, that's his biggest win.
Yeah, but that was a roided up Mosley, and I thought he won that fight 7-5. It was extremely close, but that was Mosley kind of in his heyday.
Margarito too, but then you got Pacquiao smashing Margarito's eye up before that, so it's kind of jinxed it.
I think it has to be Mosley.
It was
Mosley,
yeah. And then Claudia is somewhere in there, right? I mean,
That's the
yeah,
fight
I
I
don't
thought he lost. The Clotty fight.
yeah, that is true. Yeah,
And I
but
don't-
it kind of goes back to what we said about Tim Bradley, right? You know, Tim Bradley probably has the lesser of the names, but the better performances. But again, Cotto has the names, and he's a much more decorated fighter. So
Excellent comparison.
the hypocrisy of it all, right?
Yep.
But I don't know. Is someone peeing? I heard some drops.
Oh man, that's water going into a cup, bro.
Okay, all right.
It just sounds like a toilet.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm picking Canelo. I know I may sound like a homer, but I just feel like Canelo's going to catch him with something big, and that's going to change the entire outcome of the fight. But I can see Cotto just, winning the first 4 or 5 rounds pretty comfortably. And then I just think one punch is going to land for Canelo, and I think Canelo's going to wrap it up.
Harry, what are you? You still picking Canelo?
Me?
Yeah.
I've been picking Cotto the whole way.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm
Shifted,
picking
actually.
someone different every week, man.
I'm gonna go over to Canelo. Actually, yeah, I forgot. Like most times, the big fights, Cotto loses.
Yeah, but we can say the same about Canelo, right?
He's only lost once in his whole career.
That is true, but the only reason why I'm nervous, Ari, is because I feel like Canelo throws very wide combinations. You know, they're pretty to look at, but there's a lot of gaps and there's a lot of openings for Cotto to capitalize on. And Cotto's left hook is very, very concise, so that's what I'm worried about.
It's the kind of fight where I'm going to wait until the very last minute to make a kind of solid, confident pick.
You're going to wait until the chemo special when we're watching the weigh-in live.
Exactly. I mean, all that counts. I want to see how Canelo makes the weight. I want to see how they look at against each other. I've got the funny feeling that the Canelo is just going to dwarf him. I mean, he does dwarf him, but when I see them standing like toe to toe against each other, I just want to see what it's going to be like.
This fight's crept up on us, man. I'm fucking looking forward to this fight, man.
Yeah, it's only 3 weeks away. So.
When's 24/7?
24?
Yeah.
It's the Saturday after the Rios fight.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Did you guys get a chance to watch the 2 days on HBO?
I actually forgot to watch that, man.
Yeah.
Any of you guys watched it? You see it, Liam?
No, I've not seen it.
Yeah. It's not worth watching. It's just generic, fodder.
What is it? Does it cover one of his previous fights beforehand, or what does it focus on?
Covered the Kirkland fight, and they were just hyping Kirkland up as some dangerous fighter that we all know he wasn't. So, I think Naoto was part of the production crew, so that's probably why. But we all know Kirkland's a bum. Kirkland is just like one of those abused bulldogs that you feel sorry for. You know, the one with all the scars on its face. So you're like, oh, I feel so sorry for this guy. And then you get overly sympathetic with it, and then it fails every time you try to, step it up. That's James Kirkland.
Lim sounds
Oh,
like
it's Kirkland.
Lim sounds like Michael Vick. That's probably my best joke ever. And it's fucking
Ever.
shit.
Surprised you know who Vic is.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm surprised you know who Vic is.
Yeah, I know who. Like so many rappers have referenced him. Mike Vick.
Yeah, it's true. Whenever they have a dog bar in it.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to talk about, Don?
No, I'm good. Oh, the Quigg Frampton fight. I think that fight should be interesting. I'm still picking Frampton. I'm surprised a lot of you guys are pro Quigg now.
No, I'm not pro Quigg. I just think it's a closer fight than it maybe was last year.
Yeah. I still think if I was Quigg, I would have fought Donaire and then, step up gradually to Frampton, because I feel like Quigg would have beaten Donaire pretty easily. So, but
we kind of know why they kind of did a U-turn in that fight now, don't we?
yeah, which is fair, which makes sense. But I don't know, who are you guys picking? I know, Cam, you're probably sticking towards Frampton, but what about you, RHU? Are you guys Frampton or Quigg?
Always will be Frampton.
Yeah.
Always
You
has
too?
and will be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Frampton as well. One thing I will say is I thought Donaire would have beat Quigg. Donaire knocked out Montiel in 2 rounds. Montiel moved up a division and fucking gave Lee Selby hell. I know that's triangle theories, but this goes to show how good that one was. And I don't know. That
No, well, how does that show how good Donaire was? I mean, I
because
don't.
he beat a very good
I don't
fighter
know.
in 2 rounds.
I don't know. Yeah, I know, but I don't know how good Selby is.
Good
Like
point.
for that kind of logic to work, I would have to agree that Selby's a good fighter, but
Yeah, good point.
Selby's unproven as shit. And I
Yeah,
know
but
Joe Morgan.
Selby's hyped.
I know White Ski Mask Joe is off, but I'm not sold on the Selby wagon at all. I need to see him actually fight someone decent and see him do well against that opposition, because if you're going to tell me that Gradovich is your best name and the guy that you beat to get your title, that's horseshit. Didn't Gradovich go life and death for some fucking bum in this past fight?
Unfortunately, I don't want to call an opponent a bum, but yeah, he struggled versus a no name.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I the Frampton
Yeah, but
Quigg
that's
fight,
because
I'm really
he's
looking
been
forward to that. Nah, come on, man. I don't know about that. But
Put it this way, if Carl Frampton was to fight Lee Selby, I'm picking Carl Frampton.
but Frampton is this Frampton Quigg fight? I keep forgetting that Frampton's a 126 pounder.
No, he's 122.
122, right?
Yep.
And Quigg is at 122?
Yep.
Holy shit. That's why. I swear, I don't know what kind of diuretics that Quigg takes, but I don't know how the fuck he makes 122.
Yeah, he's massive for super bantam.
That's insane. He's gonna have like 3 inches on him, right, Kim?
Something like that. I don't know the exact stats, but yeah. And Frampton's very stocky. He's very broad, man. Even he supposedly struggles to make the weight.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard he's like 135 the night before the fight. So, or excuse me, the night before weigh-ins.
Actually, while we're talking about featherweights and shit, I was listening to Lukey's podcast. Shout out to Lukey. He was
How's he doing, by the way?
Oh, he's great. He's swell. He's loving Golovkin.
Okay.
But he was quoting you from our show last week a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say he was misquoting you, but he was kind of misquoting you. Well, the argument was that I think him and Mark from TMT, I know he's in the chat, we're basically saying about fucking Morales and Barrera.
Yeah.
I was going to call him
You're trying to combine
Borrelles.
Borrelles and fucking Morera. Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
They would beat Rigo and Lomachenko.
Uh-huh.
Unless I just fucking imagined that in my head, I don't know. But I just wanted to ask you guys if.
Well, how are they misquoting me though? Because I didn't say anything about that.
Oh, you were saying that. I don't want to go down this hole again. Okay.
Oh, the amateurs versus pros.
Yeah. You were saying it's
I
a
see.
completely different sport, and I think you said I didn't listen back to the show last week, but I think you said something like the college football is nothing like college football or something like that, and they were making the point that it was.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
see.
Fuck it, man.
Okay,
Why did I even
yeah.
bring this up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no-
Let's
yeah,
just
regardless.
fucking drop it.
Let's just go back to the Morales.
I remembered my
Morales.
question. Yeah. Anyway, the
Morales,
whole point of
Barrera
that was,
versus- They're saying that they would beat Rigo and Lomachenko.
yeah. I personally think that Rigo and Lomachenko would school them both.
I don't know about Lomachenko because I don't know enough about Lomachenko. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Lomachenko did lose to Salido, who would be like the retarded stepchild of either of those fighters that we just mentioned, Morales and Barrera. I'd pick Morales and Barrera to beat Salido right now. I mean, to beat Lomachenko. At this point of his career, I'd pick both of those guys against Salido or against Lomachenko. Sorry, but I think Rigo versus those two would be very interesting fights as well. If Rigo was at their natural weight class, so if they were both at the same weight division, I would pick Rigondeaux versus both of those guys.
Yeah, I can just remember Morales getting schooled by Zahir Rahim.
Yep, exactly.
And just that kind of boxing style, just...
I mean, people are hating on Rigo, and trust me, I know it's very easy to hate on him, but Rigo's a fucking great fighter, man. The way he schooled Nonito, I know Nonito, you can argue, days on days on days, at what point of Nonito's career did Rigo fight him at, but I've never seen a guy just completely neuter a fighter the way I saw Rigondeaux do it. And he completely neutered him, man. Like, there's not many fighters who can do that.
Yeah, it's incredible, but in a way it makes them look so bad that the fight becomes bad.
No, absolutely. But if we're just talking about who would win, I would pick Rigo because of that reason, Like, Rigo has dynamite power, too, and I know a lot of people give him credit for his power, but his straight right hand, that packs a lot of power, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's no discussion. He can punch like fuck, but whether like Basilius in the chat is saying that Rigo is the best ever at 122, I don't know that division well enough to say that, to be honest.
Oh no, come on! You can't say he's the best ever. He's only has one good name at that weight division.
But then
he was fighting just C-level fighters before that fight.
I would argue that a lot of guys have ducked them, and I think
and I think Rigo's now ducking guys too. So it goes both ways.
Who's Rigo ducking?
He's ducking guys at 126. He ducked Lomachenko. I heard he just ducked Frampton. Before the Frampton Quigg fight was getting serious. So, I mean, it's not like Rigondeaux's going out of his way either. I mean, this is kind of like that Triple G situation all over again, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much do we want Rigo to go up? Which is fair, but I mean, if you're that amazing and you have nobody to fight at that weight division, you should put it upon yourself to move up. And this applies even more so for Rigondeaux because Rigondeaux is not anywhere near the draw that Triple G is. So he has to make these decisions for himself.
See, the most free talented boxers, pound for pound, are Rigo, Golovkin, Lomachenko. And they're probably the three most ducked.
I'm not ready to jump on that Lomachenko bandwagon like you are, man. I still haven't seen enough from Lomachenko.
What? I mean, did you not see the Gary Russell Jr. fight?
Yeah, and I don't think Gary Russell's a good fighter, so what does that mean?
I disagree.
I mean, how can you say that Gary Russell's a good name? Why? Because he knocked out that one guy that knocked out
Gonzalez.
Morris out? Gonzalez? Is that enough?
At one point, Gary Russell Jr. was
Yes,
hyped.
he was
Very
over he's a definition of a fucking Al Heyman product. He was way overhyped, like it was nobody's business. He fought absolutely nobody, and he just got gifted that fight against Lomachenko for the vacant strap.
How can you're holding the Salido loss against him? How can you hold that against him? Look what fucking Salido done.
It's true about Guy Russell though, because remember we had that joke about Guy Russell's fighting TBA.
Okay, let's just first settle the Gary Russell issue first, okay? First of all, have you guys seen a fighter just completely shit the bed in the fashion that Gary Russell did against Lomachenko? Like, that shit was comical, the way he was throwing punches.
He mesmerized him.
You're saying Lomachenko mesmerized him?
He mesmerized him. He just hit him with so many punches, it was like he was on a spinning wheel.
Okay, and my argument is that it's because Gary Russell fought 27 TVAs, some fucking, milk carton salesmen that didn't prepare him whatsoever to have that fight. So that's why I don't think Gary Russell is a proven commodity, nor do I think Lomachenko is a proven commodity. And to go back to your Salido question, what exactly are you saying?
I'm saying Salido cheated to that one. And I count that as a no contest.
Well, then that even hurts your argument even more, because then you're going only off of 3 fights that Lomachenko has had in his entire career.
Okay, but in his first 3 fights,
2 of them against.
I've had this argument before. His first 3 fights are better than a lot of fucking fighters' careers.
Yeah, but we're talking. You just said that he was a top 3 pound for pound skill level fighter. We're not talking
skill
about
level.
Other fighters. We're just talking
Not
about
resume.
Yeah, skill level then.
So who's better than him? I'm not talking about
terms
Floyd.
of what?
I'm not talking about Floyd, by the way. Floyd is retired. I would rank Floyd above there.
This may sound insane, but I think I would even say that right now I'm not higher on what's his face, Errol Spence, but I've seen more from Errol Spence. I need to see more from Lomachenko.
Are you joking me?
I haven't seen Lomachenko fight anybody, Chu.
He's fought more people than Errol Spence.
No, he's actually had 13 less fights. But in terms of resume,
yes.
I mean, I shit. If you're gonna say Salido's a no contest, you can make the argument that their resumes are pretty equal.
Who? Errol Spence's and Lomachenko's?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you can.
No, who the fuck is Errol Spence?
Because Gary Russell's a C-level fighter.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He certainly is. Because he
knocked out. No, he came back. To his credit, he came back.
He came back because it justifies your argument and it makes your boy look better. That's why he came back. Gary Russell's a nobody. I know. What do you think, Cam? I mean, what's your take on Lomachenko? I mean, do you think he's justified as his top 3 pound for pound skill level fighter, like Chu was claiming? And also, what do you think about his resume? What do you think about Lomo's resume? That's what I want to know.
I've said that I hate all that top 3 pound for pound, top 10 pound for pound. So I never really have those conversations. But early before you joined the show, I did say that I'm really upset with Lomachenko. He came into the professional game, on such a big high, and since the Gary Russell fight, it's kind of really gone downhill for me. And fighting these guys he's fighting, I think it's like almost like one-sided fights before you go into. He's still fun to watch, and he beats these guys up well, but you want to see competitive fights.
I mean, shit, even Lucas Matisse, I mean, granted, Lomachenko is obviously a much more well-rounded fighter than Matisse is based on his amateur resume, but Matisse was beating up on fucking bums for about 2 years, and he was getting overhyped as shit. And then you meet a guy who's on a similar skill level and who doesn't fold based upon your skill advantages, like a Danny Garcia, and then you get to fully realize what kind of fighter you have. And until Lomachenko encounters that kind of situation, I can't place him that high. I need to see that shit in person, because to me, I think maybe a couple years ago, I would have agreed with you and said skill-wise, he's dazzling. He looks fantastic. He looks so good with his combinations. But that kind of stuff doesn't mean shit to me anymore because I need to see it against a guy who can actually fucking hurt you. And I need to see the fighter actually get touched up, and I need to see that person respond because I think what I realize is like punch resistance and the way you react to adversity is just as much of a skill set as your footwork is or your combination punching is.
I've thought about that. That's an interesting point you brought up because I've said the same about Errol Spence, and Anthony Joshua. These prospects, oh yeah, they're good, but wait until they get punched. But what if they never get punched? Roy Jones never got punched until fucking Tarver got him. You know what I mean? What if they go through their whole fucking career without getting punched just because they're that good? And then when they do get fucking punched, and if they do get knocked out, people will be like, I fucking told you so. Even after fucking 25 straight wins and fucking 25 knockouts against great opponents. You know what I'm trying to say? I just feel like...
Yeah, but that's a huge leap in my opinion.
Should Lomachenko let somebody punch him just so people say he's got a good chin?
In 10 years, Callum Smith's going to get knocked out for the first time, and Ari's going to say, I told you so.
That's a huge stretch too, because you're jumping from that kind of situation to the current situation that he's at right now, which is 4 fights against pretty shitty opposition. So
I'll give you that.
I need to see him against.
I said that earlier. He's going backwards.
But the thing is, trust me, if he fights, what's his face, Walters, but fuck, Walters is 130 now, right? So fuck it. I don't even know who the fuck he's gonna fight. Who is he gonna fight at 126? Selby? I mean, honestly, who is he gonna fight?
Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, Oscar Valdez is green as shit too, right? Fuck it, I don't know. And now we go back into this back and forth argument about resume, and it's probably unfair to Lomachenko because it's not his fault that weight division is shitty. And he's too small for 130, I think. So, but yeah, oh well, Lomachenko, fuck it. That Toledo fight should have never happened to begin with. So that was just really shitty management on his end and his team. So yeah, they fucked up on that.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. Someone in the chat, the compa, keeps saying Robinson Castellanos versus Loma. He KOs Loma. I'll be honest, I've not heard of this guy, so I'll go and Google him.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
But he keeps mentioning it, so I thought I'd mention it. But hey, just to finalise, yeah, Lomachenko, his career's gone backwards. No one is more disappointed than me. I'm a homosexual. Big fan of Lomachenko. However, you're only as good as your last fight, and he's fighting bums. Well, not bums, but not in his weight. Not in his fucking...
Cam, what do you think about Gary Russell?
I'm kind of in between you guys in the sense of sitting on the fence as usual. I wouldn't say he's a C-level fighter, and I wouldn't say he's a high level. I'd probably say he's like a B-level fighter, but he's one of these guys that you said, Lim, that is kind of being positioned, and the road he's been taken by Heyman. He didn't really have a fight until he fought Loma, and the Gonzalez win, which I rated at the time. And I still think now it is a good win. I think he's kind of, people put him on a pedestal after that fight to think, oh, he's a beast now. He knocked Johnny Gonzalez out, but it's a decent win, but it wasn't a magnificent win. And I think people are a bit too high on Guy Russell at the moment.
Wait a minute. Fucking this guy that fucking the compa just mentioned to me. Alright, he's got 10 losses, which looks bad. But he's beat Rocky Juarez, Ronnie Rios, Celestino Caballero, Derek Wilson. It's not a bad record. Maybe in the future he could give Lomachenko a run. Anyway.
let's get some final thoughts. Get out of here. I'm pretty tired. Lim, good having you on the show. You got anything final you want to add?
No, not really. I think this past weekend of fights, I didn't watch any of them, but this upcoming weekend of fights, not really looking forward to anything on the table. I'm just looking forward to the Canelo Cotto 24/7. So I'll set my DVR to whenever that Rios fight ends, and I'll be waiting for that.
Thank you, Lim. Ari, man, we've not heard much from you. Give us a little rant before you go.
Nah, no rant this week, but you know, we got a good fight week coming up. I don't really care for Bandy Rios, to be fair, but I'm looking forward to seeing Smith versus Fielding. Yeah. The Russian card, I'll try to see it live, but I doubt I'll watch that live, but I'll try and catch a couple of fights afterwards, like the Povetkin fight, and I want to see that guy with 18 KOs. I know he's fighting, so I want to see if he gives us another nice knockout. And that's it, really.
Give us your Roger Ebert review of Spectre.
I thought it was shit, to be honest.
It was slow. I watched it yesterday. It was pretty slow, maybe.
Yeah. Slow, plot was a mess. I felt action was very weak. Not enough action as well. The love, I'm not going to go too deep, but yeah. I felt Skyfall wasn't that good, but I felt Skyfall was better. Let's just say like that.
Okay. Disappointing, man. I was really amped up for that movie, but fuck.
All right, thank you, Ari. My boy Chew, any final thoughts for us?
Nah, I've spoken enough. Good show. Slow week. Hopefully next week.
Did you say all 4 phrases?
What's the one I'm missing?
I don't know. I'm asking. Disingenuous, lipstick on a pig.
No, yeah, he did lipstick on a pig. He didn't do disingenuous, though.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, he did that.
Done that.
What's the 4th one, Cam?
He's a beast. You didn't say he's a beast today, did you?
He's a beast. You got a lot of work to do next week, too.
Oh, well, you only need 5 in bingo, so I've done about 5.
All right. Good stuff.
I disagree. I did say that.
All right, thank you, Chew. I want to thank all you guys that jumped on the show today. I want to thank the people in the chat, and I want to thank the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically banging, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great. Do we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass. Just to play devil's advocate. You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a super-sized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side? But you won't brush Anthony fucking fat-ass Joshua, would you? He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you ate for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.